State Sport now present a live telecast of the 1986 Bendigo Football League Grand Final from the Queen Elizabeth Oval, Bendigo. Here now is your host, Alan Besley.
Good afternoon, everyone, from Bendigo's Queen Elizabeth Oval. Grand Final day 1986, a tremendous atmosphere out on the ground. Conditions are cool and overcast. We're going to see a great grand final now between Eaglehawk and the reigning champions Northern United. Let's take you up to our commentary position and say good afternoon now to Shane Healy.
Good afternoon, Alan Besley, and a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's grand final day in Bendigo, and there's the banner. Eaglehawk Football Club, the mighty Hawks, quiet achievers, eat 'em alive. And Eaglehawk are about to make their way onto the Queen Elizabeth Oval. You can see there Wayne Walsh, the ex-coach of the North Bendigo side, and a young budding side that have come from nowhere in 1986 and may go in as just underdogs in this big grand final against Northern United this afternoon. Here come the two Blues about to approach the Queen Elizabeth Oval, which has been bathed in sunshine about the last hour after a very, very cloudy morning indeed. There still might be the outside chance of rain, but let's hope not, because certainly this grand final promises to be a very even, a very, very tight clash indeed. I'm joined this afternoon by the sporting editor of the Bendigo Advertiser, Richard Jones.
Thank you very much, Shane. Well, we're looking forward to a great game here, of course, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be one of the big days in Bendigo for 1986. It's always a big day here in Bendigo, the grand final, and my word, we've got a crowd here. What a colourful crowd. The old traditional Eaglehawk hill area up there behind the South Bendigo club rooms is pretty well packed with spectators as I look out. Here come the umpires for the main game. They're Jeff Miller and Nicholas Gibson. Over to Dennis Higgins. Dennis, what's your impressions of the day?
Well, I think Bendigo football's alive and well. If you have a look around today, Richard, both sides worked extremely hard to get here. Northern United undermanned because of injuries. Eaglehawk have come up pretty strongly with very few injuries, so I think it's going to be a fabulous game.
Certainly, we saw a rather nice little shot there of the dancers. They're putting on a good show, as you see the Eaglehawk boys there doing their warm-ups, and that Eaglehawk banner was certainly a credit to the supporters of the Eaglehawk Football Club. Eaglehawk are known as the Two Blues. They come from the borough. Many people say Bendigo is a suburb of Eaglehawk in old traditional language, and there's the Eaglehawk side reading from the back line. And Dennis, as our viewers have a look at it, what are some of the interesting moves there?
Well, I think just looking at the team overall, it's pretty obvious Eaglehawk have a very strong back line. Quite concerned about their forward line in some ways, but it's the reverse with Northern United side once that comes up, so we certainly got an even match, no doubt about that, Shane.
Well, Gilmore at full forward, he's one player they're really going to look forward to kick goals, aren't they?
Well, Darrell's a great player. His form during the year hasn't been too consistent, but if he gets running forward on the ball and takes a few catches and a couple of goals early, will do tremendous things for his confidence.
What about that gentleman? Yes.
Isn't he a fantastic footballer? I think, you know, if they have the Hall of Fame continuing, you're going to see R. O'Connell on that.
Now here comes the United side. Swallows soared in 84, came alive in 85. Now let's blitz them in 86. That's the banner. It was a huge one too. And the boys from Northern United, looking at 3 flags in a row, have just burst onto Bendigo's famous Queen Elizabeth Oval here on Grand Final Day 1986.
And don't we have some surprises for the fans here, ladies and gentlemen, because out there's Gavin Exall. He'll be playing at full forward today. One of the key players on the ground, seems to be running okay, doing a little bit of ball pick-up there. Probably the leading footballer in the Bendigo Football League, has been approached by a number of other clubs. Gary Evans is out there among them too, as you can see from your shot from far apart. And there, of course, also in amongst them is Gerard Geary. Now, these two players we were talking about a minute ago, Exel and Geary, were not named in the team bond Thursday night, but they're out there and they can mark. They should be very key players. There's Bluey Southcombe, the big coach. A big game for him in his 12th Bendigo League Grand Final.
Yes, that's a fine record, isn't it, Richard? How important are those two key forwards, Dennis, do you feel? Geary at centre half forward and Exel probably lining up at full forward.
Well, obviously, if they're fully fit, they're going to make the difference, Shane. I have doubts whether they are fully fit, but they're both great competitors, and they've got the experience. I think that their presence on the ground is going to make a big difference anyway.
Well, there's the Swallows side now, and Craig Neiman at fullback's an interesting one. Dennis, how's he going to go on big Darrell Gilmore?
Well, he's obviously picked to try and run with Darrell, punch the ball clear. Darrell largely marks running forward on the ball, doesn't really take many catches straight up, so he's a great player for the Northern United Football Club. I think he's capable of doing the job.
And I'm sure many would be wondering where Peter Fife is. Well, he's hurt his hamstring at the last training run before this grand final, and a big, big loss will be Peter Fife in defence.
In my opinion, I think that is the most significant thing that's happened with both sides. I think Peter Fife's loss will be one that Northern United may rue at the end of the day.
Richard Jones, who are you selecting and why?
Well, I said on the grand final brunch telecast yesterday, Shane, that I was going for Northern United. I'm still sticking with that. I went for them in yesterday's Bendigo Advertiser, and I believe that the experience which Northern United has got, I must qualify that by saying that under no circumstances should it be read as me being downplaying the Eaglehawk Football Club, because I certainly am not. But I'm going for Northern United because of the edge of experience, players like Gary Mountjoy in the middle, Sheldon and Ian Marlowe, the on-ball players. So I'm selecting the Swallows to make it 3 in a row.
Well, Dennis Higgins, you took Eaglehawk to their centenary premiership in 1980. The Borough won again, and you were a player in 1982 under Phil Byrne. We really haven't seen the Borough emerge since then. 1986, I suppose you'll have a few butterflies in the stomach today to see those two Blues, but do you think they can win this grand final?
I think they can. I think it might be reminiscent of the 1980 game, actually very close. I just think the great Eaglehawk Football Club, the spirit that's there, they've got through the hard way, they're on a roll. I think they might do it. I think they've got the on-ball players as distinct from Richard. I think that Eaglehawk's on-ball players, Dorrington, Collins, Shannon around that centre area, etc., I think they're the players that will make or break them, and I think they'll make them.
Well, what about that centre duel? It's always vital. Shannon, Findlay and Gordon, a young centre line for Eaglehawk coming up against experience and one youthful player. Gary Evans, Gary Mountjoy and young Reece Langan out on the wing for United. Which way do you see that vital duel going on this big ground?
Well, on the youth side, Shannon and Gordon have got extreme capabilities, magnificent skills. Of course, who'd ever underestimate the abilities of Gary Evans? He just seems to get a bit of an adrenaline squirt this time every year, and also Gary Mountjoy, who'll pick up his 20-30 possessions without any difficulty at all.
Brett Sheldon and Gavin Exel, along with Gerard Geary, form a high-marking forward line, and of course we can't forget the coach Bluey Southcomb's fine effort last year. Have Eaglehawk's defenders got the height to hold those big marking players for the Swallows?
Well, I think McDougall and Pearce certainly will hold anybody overhead, and I think O'Connell will beat whoever he's on. I think they have. I think the strongest part of Eaglehawk's side is their back line. And the bigger concern I'd have with Eaglehawk could be up front, whether they've got enough. If Daryl Gilmore's down, I think they'll be in real trouble, but Daryl's come up under pressure other times.
Let's join Alan Besley down on the ground. Alan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bendigo Football League welcomes you to Grand Final Day 1986. Two great sides through to this year's Grand Final. Northern United, the reigning champions, up against Eaglehawk. Would you please rise now for the national anthem. Call on Robert O'Connell and Tony Southcombe to come forward for the toss of the coin from Nick Gibson. His assistant today is Jeff Miller. Please, here's the toss of the coin.
Heads we got.
Northern United have won the toss and will kick to the city end of the ground. David Ludeman winning the toss for Northern United. Good luck to players from both sides.
The big grand final is underway in about 90 seconds time in the earlier games of the afternoon. In the under-18s, South Bendigo caused a big surprise, defeating the highly fancied Sandhurst 11-9-75 to 11-8-74. And in the reserve grade game, we saw Golden Square 10-4-64 defeat South Bendigo 6-13-49. South Bendigo were fancied in that particular game. You've seen the toss of the coin. And we've seen some great grand final action over this weekend, Richard, and I must say well done to you in our grand final luncheon telecast yesterday. You tipped Chewton to beat Maryborough Rovers at Princes Park, and they duly saluted. You tipped Birchip to win their first for 27 years in the North Central League, and they duly saluted up against Witchy-Proof Narraport. And of course in the Kerrang League, I think we saw another fine result with Wandella getting home yesterday over Quambatook.
They certainly did, Shane. Well, I must say that I was extremely pleased. I know the Witchy-Proof Narraport people won't be, but I was pleased to see Birchip win. They hadn't won for a long time. An old friend of mine, Sid Mather, who's been a long time supporter of football in the North Central District, he was up there to watch the grand final. And he's here, of course, because for many, many years he was has been a supporter until he's moved to Gippsland, but he still is, of course, a supporter of Northern United and has been a patron of theirs for a long time. There's one of the key players today, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen at the moment, Northern United's captain coach Tony Southcombe. His 12th Bendigo Football League grand final, his 14th grand final in all, because don't forget he captain coach bought into two grand finals in that North Central League we were speaking of a second ago, and what a key player he'll be today, Tony Southcombe.
Interesting to paint the histories, Dennis, of these two clubs. For those who don't know too much about Bendigo football, Northern United came from the minor league, the old Golden City League as it was known. Eaglehawk, a famous old Bendigo club, and back in the old days when they played in different leagues they had a great association. Now they're arch rivals.
Many of the players that played for Eaglehawk or are back now at Northern United, in fact went through the system of coming from Northern United to Eaglehawk Football Club for their senior football. Northern United, a great history in the old Golden City League, and now they've made immediate history in their first years in the Bendigo League. Eaglehawk Football Club, I think, renowned throughout Victoria, probably Australia, as one of the great clubs. They're certainly the opposites, but today I think all that won't matter, Shane.
Northern United have won 2 flags in a row under Tony Southcombe, 1984 over this side, Eaglehawk, and 1985 over Sandhurst. Sandhurst were flag favourites in 1986, but they were disappointing in the second semi and the preliminary final. Now Eaglehawk have the chance to win their 3rd flag of the 80s.
In the engine room, right in the centre square, Shane, where everything takes place, we've got Mountjoy, Ludeman, Marlow and Neiman against Collins, Crone, Finlay and Walsh, and I think that's where it's going to be won or lost.
TV8 bringing you the Bendigo Football League Grand Final for 1986. The Swallows and the 2 Blues. And Eaglehawk win the first kick of the day. Alan Findlay onto the half-forward line, where United take the mark through Mark Road. There's Rhodes' kick down the wing, and a good, solid United mark again taken by Tony Barnes.
Tony Barnes will be a key player today, Shane. He's strong, he's got the experience, and I think you might find that he'll be one of the key personnel.
The Swallows running the ball down into their forward line. Robert O'Connell, the Eaglehawk captain coach, comes out and takes a solid mark in front of Gerard Geary. O'Connell elects to go right up the centre of Bendigo's famous Queen Elizabeth Oval. He was looking for Danny Slater, who came over the back of the pack. Mountjoy's in there. The ball spills free. It's on the half-forward line here now for the Swallows side. In goes Walsh. He can't pick up the ball. Neiman's in there. So is Tricky for Northern United. And the umpire calls for the first ball up of the day.
Interesting to see Darryl Gilmore playing well up the field. In fact, contested his first ball for the day right in the centre square. And I think that's a good idea to get him in the game, because he's a confidence man, and if he can get a few grabs early, most important.
Well,
Scotty Neiman was the player then, Shane, had got the ball out of that pack and drove up forward, where Barnes just eluded him and went out of bounds.
We're going to see a throw in. Certainly United doing the attacking in the first couple of minutes of this grand final. There's the throw in now. It's Crone up against Tony Southcombe. Comes to the ground. Plenty of players packed around the ball. It's certainly a nervous opening. All players nervous in grand finals, and the umpire's pulled out a free kick here. It's going to go the way of the Swallows, and it's going to be Darren Tricky, the little rover, who's going to have a shot 20 metres out, almost directly in front.
We always hope that umpiring decisions around the goals even out, Shane, but there's no way known I could see that. I think the first score will come from a lucky free kick.
There's Tricky's kick. It's an ordinary one. Only travelled 30 metres, and Exel has taken a beauty over the pack. He plays on and he's rammed it through. Top stuff, says the banner behind the goal. And there's the man that could swing the grand final from his own boot. The Swallows have struck first.
A brilliant goal from Gavin Exel, but surely to goodness in the start of a grand final, you must know by now he's played here for 7 or 8 years. Eaglehawk must know he's going to come around on his great left foot. They've got a block him there because he'll do it every time. Magnificent piece of play from Gavin Exel. Individual effort.
Yes, well, there's Exel playing in the full forward position against Andrew McDougall, and we're ready for the next bounce to Shane.
There's the bounce in the centre coming up now. Eaglehawk yet to score in the grand final. Northern United 1 straight. Big thump out of the centre by Northern United, Scotty Neiman. He gets it to half forward. Tricky running onto Marlow. He tries to put it down the throat of Exel, who's got yards. Hand pass across to Evans. and the experienced Evans slipped at the final moment. It feeds on to Marlowe. Eaglehawk supporters crying for a holding the ball decision, and it's going to come their way, and certainly United moving it with fast-flowing football in the early stages. The oval is in absolutely glorious condition considering the rain we've had, and Eaglehawk now running the ball off their half-back line area. Chance this time for Darren Thompson. He'll drive around the wing, but it was a poor kick under pressure, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. How much do nerves play in this first 10 minutes? How much importance do they have, Dennis?
Well, I think it's actually a bit overrated. I think once you get out there and you get your first grab of the ball, I think is the most important thing. Otherwise, you run around in a daze for 5 or 10 minutes, and half the first quarter's over before you get going.
Swallows look for Tony Barnes on half forward. He's going to have a free kick given against him this time. Way over there on the half forward flank, on the far side of the ground. We call it the outer side here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. For those who don't know the ground, it's the most magnificent country football ground in Victoria. No doubts about that. And certainly this big crowd that's turned up for this grand final is going to be treated to a beauty. A very even grand final, and a lot of tipsters having a lot of trouble picking their winner before the start of the match.
Very interesting also to see, Shane, that Northern United have started to run the ball first, and that's the key to the game. For Eaglehawk to be competitive at all, they're going to have to feed the ball off and run it all day. They haven't done it yet, so I'm hoping they get going shortly.
Tony Southcombe doing the bulk of the early ruck work for United, the captain coach of the Swallows. He won that one down to Mountjoy. Well done. And Mountjoy finds Tricky, who's dangerous early. Now, Tricky's too far out to score, but he'll try and put it down Exel's throat. Out come the Eaglehawk defenders, led that time by Andrew McDougall. Ball's on the ground. Chance for Exel again. Oh, he's broken a tackle. Had a snap for goal. It's gone right across the face, but United have got yards out in front here. They'll pick it up well and put it across the front of goal. Sheldon across to Gerard Geary was good footy, and Geary received a pretty high one there. Well, we've seen Exel kick a goal, and we've seen Gerard Geary mark and have a chance to kick a goal. They were the two players that had the fitness cloud over them. Here he is now, Gerard Geary.
A little bit of a high tackle there, but nothing in it. Good to see the umpire didn't penalise it. Gerard Geary and Gavin Exel looked to me to be 100% fit. That was a poor kick for goal, but Gavin Exel contested very hard for that ball, and he doesn't look to be injured at all to me.
No, Exel looks fine, and Geary, the way he moved out to that ball, looks okay early too, but of course they've got a lot of footy ahead of them. 1-1-7 Northern United. Eaglehawk are yet to score. That's the TV8 scoreboard after about 7 minutes of the first quarter here in the grand final. After the kick out, Tricky got into the back of one of his Eaglehawk opponents there in Darren Thompson. Ball spills to the ground. This Tricky's playing a great first quarter. He's had a running shot for goal. That time it was young Neiman, Scotty Neiman it was. Both look very alike with the blonde here. Tricky and Neiman, both busy players.
Both busy players, and of course Northern United are going to the with the slight breeze, so the attacking is expected, but they've missed 3 shots which you could expect they may have converted, so I hope they don't pay for that.
It's Tricky again, Shane, and a great mark there. He's opposed to Murray Collins. Could be a bit of a chance for a 15-metre penalty unless they let him go soon. No, Tricky's got the ball, goes and plays on quickly. Looking over here for that's Scotty Neiman on his own in front of what we call here on the QEO the old Melbourne scoreboard. Scott Neiman's looking for Exel, and up forward he sees him, but he goes in short to Geary instead, and there's Geary will take another shot for goal, Dennis.
Robbie O'Connell, most unusual. He's given Gerard Geary 15 metres space both times. You do that to Gerard Geary and we'll have 6 or 7 up before half-time.
Gerard Geary goes for the long shot for goal. How does it look, ladies and gentlemen? It doesn't look too bad at all. It's there, and there's...
The Jetstream row prop equipment. Jetstream, the...
Big forward, chance here for Shannon to go in for Eaglehawk. Gee, Exel's throwing his weight around down there in that Swallows forward line. It's been all Northern United in the early stages. It's on their half forward line. Chance for Sheldon to go into the game now. O'Connell, the Eaglehawk captain coach, does it well. Having trouble picking it up in that passage of play. And now it feeds across toward Reece Langan. He gets it across to Scotty Neiman. Southcombe in the goal square. The big captain coach has taken a great mark. And I tell you what, the work of these Neiman boys and Tricky early is absolutely fantastic. Tricky has already had 5 kicks.
These are the players that, Shane, make the difference, because people don't expect them to be good players, but they hold their game all the time. They get the ball. It's most interesting to see that Northern United 3 times as many handballs as Eaglehawk at this stage, and I repeat that's the difference between the two sides. They've got to feed the ball off Eaglehawk, and unless they do, they have no chance of beating this side.
3-2 to no score. What a brilliant start. We've only played just over 10 minutes of the first quarter, and the Eaglehawk or Borough or 2 Blue crowd getting right behind their side to try and lift them. They haven't had it across the centre in the first 10 minutes of this grand final. A brilliant start indeed from the Swallows, and there's that mark of Southcombes as he goes up. Geary almost spoiled him, and again Geary had a little bit of space from O'Connell in that passage of play as we see the ball back in the centre. Umpires letting it go. It's been a very high standard start, but it's all been the Swallows early. Can Eaglehawk get it out of the centre this time? They get the kick, but it goes in fact in the wrong direction and spills toward the wing position in front of the grandstand. Oh, nice tackle that time on Barnes. The tackler was young Andrew Shannon. In that time for Eaglehawk also was David Townrow, but we're going to see a throw in right in front of our broadcasting position. Umpire saw some jostling that time. It's going to go to Ludeman.
I hope the umpires don't do that all day, Shane. I mean, he only just hardly made contact with him. If they just let the game go, let it flow, because the players are good enough to have a good standard without them interfering with it.
Munro wins the ball for Eaglehawk, drives it down toward the wing position. Players spilling on top of it. Chance this time for Eaglehawk to get it moving. Shannon wins a kick out of the pack. It goes toward the half-forward flank. It's on the grandstand side, and good football this time from young Murray Collins. But the umpire, the boundary umpire, said you were over the shoulder, Northern United. And we're going to see a free kick going the way this time of young Collins. And Murray Collins has got the ball, half-forward flank. Ground bathed in sunshine now. Gilmore leads out, couldn't take the mark. Ball spills down toward Murray Osborne. And United's Osborne now drives toward the wing position. It's on the far side of the ground. Tricky doing well. Taps back toward Gary Evans, who was interfered with. No free kick. Oh, there's a high tackle on Murray Osborne. Not noted there by the umpire. And in fact, we're going to see a dropping the ball decision. And it's going to go United's way.
Peter Rogerson's influence there on the physical stuff, but the ball's gone to the opposition. But he needs to be aggressive, because Eaglehawk need that very badly at this stage.
Tricky, Evans and Marlowe combined to drive down to Geary. Jared Geary in front of the pack. We are seeing a brilliant opening here from Northern United. Gavin Exel was up as well, but Andrew McDougall, Robbie O'Connell are really in trouble down there with these two big United forwards.
Ball came originally from Darren Tricky again, Shane. He's having a great influence, and of course Jared Geary's having a big influence too. I think Robbie O'Connell might do well to go on to Gavin.
Out of Eaglehawk, no score. Just over 12 minutes. A brilliant opening by the Swallows, but Eaglehawk are going to go forward this time from a diamond infringement.
And there's Peter Crone. Got the ball. Oh, shocking kick. Crone kicks into Ludeman on the mark. Here's Tony Barnes on his own. Barnes will go long here. Takes one bounce. Looking for the fifth goal for Northern United. Drives in towards the full forward zone, but she's offline with Tony Barnes. 1 point only. Good piece of play there as Northern United smothered that ball from Crone. Atrocious kick into the man on the mark. Barnes made the most of it.
Brilliant piece of play from David Ludeman to chip the ball over. I think Tony Barnes got a bit carried away looking for the big goal. He had two options and perhaps should have gone for one of or either of them.
There's the kick out now, and oh, they're making some mistakes. The Borough. Exel's been beheaded there. Absolutely beheaded, Gavin Exel, and he's going to take a free kick for Northern United. 15 metres out directly in front. And this is one of the most stunning openings I've seen in the grand final, Dennis, for quite a while from the Swallows.
It's so one-sided, Shane, at this stage. I don't know, you called it beheaded, but I'd have grave doubts about it. The player's just fallen down into the play. He's going to kick a goal, though, and that's the most important thing.
Yes, you're quite right. Right through the high diddle again.
Graham Smith.
In Northern United have begun brilliantly. 33-0, 14 minutes gone in the first quarter.
In the pack there was David Ludeman trying to get the little left chip out. Here comes Eaglehawks in the van through Alan Finlay. Great player in the final series so far, but straight down the throat of, I think that's Joe Geary, the big Northern United backman, and he's taken a mark at centre half back at the Barnard Street end. He drives into the centre of the ground, but the ball will come back. He didn't kick over the mark, Dennis. What's happened there?
15-minute stage of the first quarter, Eaglehawk have only had 13 possessions and 3 handballs, and there is no way known you'll beat anybody having 3 handballs halfway through the first quarter.
Looks like Wayne Walsh has been given the free kick here. I didn't pick that up, Shane, what that was for, but Wayne Walsh has got the free. There he is at the true centre half forward position. At the Barnard Street end of the ground. I don't know whether he's going to look for lead for Gilmore or no. It looks as though he'll take a long shot for goal. Here's Wayne Walsh, former North Bendigo captain coach, taking the Eaglehawks' first direct shot at goal, but he's offline, Walshy, and it'll be a point.
And to paint the full picture of the possessions ratio, Northern United have had 38 possessions to 13. So you can see that it's a complete dominance for the first half of the first quarter.
A brilliant beginning indeed from the Swallows. There's a giant kick out landing on the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. Ball comes to the ground now. Chance for Big Crone. He breaks one tackle, then runs back into trouble. Oh, he's in more trouble than the early settlers as Crone holding the ball. I might have paid. He's still got it and still no decision. Mountjoy wins it now for United. He hand passes inboard. Across that time to Darren Featherby, and away go the Swallows. They kick down the outer side of the ground. Here's the brilliant Tricky in there again, but the ball bounces well for Findlay. He gets it across to Rogerson, and Rogerson finds Eaglehawks Brian Dorrington right in the centre. Dorrington gets it going toward Adler, and now they're beginning to run as Pearce gets it further afield. That's better play from Eaglehawk, but they're not doing things cleanly. It finishes at centre half forward but it's all Northern United there, and they drive back toward the wing position, and Gary Evans has won the ball again. There's Tricky again, all on his own half-forward flank on the outer side of the ground. He drives inboard looking for Geary or Exel. Exel claiming he was held. Pearce in trouble there as those United forwards are putting plenty of pressure on, and now Exel across to Geary was good play. They're fiddling a little, and it's gone over the boundary line for a throw in.
He's picked it Shane with Darren Tricky. Seems to be getting absolutely hectares of space to
Carte
play.
blanche, I'd say, Dennis. Carte blanche on the half-forward line. Up in the air they go. Over the back goes big Mark McIntyre. Peter Rogerson, the tough Eaglehawk defender, tries to clear it away from the pack, but to no avail. And there's diving on the ground, what we'll see a lot of today, Ian Marlowe.
The most surprising thing is to see how energetic and physical and how much endeavour Gavin Exel's able to show, considering he's had an injury.
Absolutely incredible. Exel, there they go in the air again. First in the race to the ball could be Sheldon. No, through the pack comes Findlay. Findlay's got the ball. Long handball out. O'Connell's not in the van here. Through the pack comes a helmeted Northern United player, and he's driven it, I think, a point, and it was, that player was Langan. A point to Northern United through the agency of Langan. He grabbed the ball out of the pack, had a flying shot, and the scoreboard has been dominated at the moment by Northern United. 5-4-34 to Eaglehawk, 1 point.
And after the kick out, it's Evans winning possession again. Gee whiz, they really are dominating. He gets it across toward Ludeman. There's Tricky again. Who is playing on him? Try and pick that up, Dennis, if you could for me, as Tricky marks between half-forward flank and forward pocket. He'll go to Exel. Exel couldn't take that mark. Feeds to the ground. Hogan's got the chance. He was first in there. Barnes, I should say. Running shot for goal from Murray Osborne, and just offline for another United behind.
I hate to say it, but I think it's Peter Rogerson playing Tricky on the loose rein, and the only thing I can say for Eaglehawk supporters is that Northern United should be 10 goals.
Well, there's the scoreboard, 5-5-35 to 1 behind. It's been a bombardment early here from the Swallows. Nobody expected this. And there's a good Eaglehawk mark after the kick out. Brian Dorrington it was, coming out that time in front of Reece Langan. He kicks down the wing, but in goes Neiman. And that's Scott Neiman for Northern United to take the mark. He's got it half-forward flank, grandstand side. The lead comes from Exel. Southcomb's going to fly it from the back. And a good mark to Eaglehawk. No, not paid. Ball feeds to the ground. Oh, and here's that man again. Tricky. Goal. Goodness gracious me. I'd love to know how many go Football League Grand Final. United 6-5-41. Eaglehawk 1 behind 1 point. Big Gary Adlam's on the ball, but Ludeman wins it down. Canal and Findlay pick it up for Eaglehawk. They've got a shocking attack of the fumbles in the early stages. A lot of these guys, of course, have never played in a grand final. Findlay wins a free kick, drives down, looking for Gilmore up on the forward line. Out comes Joe Geary, and Geary does it well. Number 27 painted across his back. He drives to the centre where Findlay's got the ball now. He loses out. Plenty of United players in there, but it's going to be a Rogerson free kick for too high.
It doesn't matter how many grand finals you've played in, Shane, you don't play players from 30 metres away, and that's what Eaglehawk are doing, and they're paying absolute penalty for it.
Slater paying the penalty that time. Danny Slater, number 5 for the Borough, hands in the air for playing behind. Free kick's going to go United's way, to be taken by Darren Featherby. Haven't got too much up forward at the moment, Eaglehawk, as Evans marks on the diamond line. Between centre half back and the centre, Gary Evans drives down the outer side of the ground. Adlam's underneath the ball. Mountjoy got one too high. No free kick. Ball to the ground. And away goes Rogerson. This is better running play from Eaglehawk. He gets a long driving hand pass to Brett Gordon, whose position was very ordinary indeed. And as it's been for most of the day, there's plenty of maroon and gold jumpers around the ball and not too many Eaglehawk, until one of the youngsters from the Borough, Pearce, chips in. He couldn't pick up. Now to Evans. Long raking hand pass to an unmarked Tricky again, who thumps further afield. They're running all over the place. Mountjoy's got the chance. Got one too high. And the umpire says it's going to be a Northern United free kick.
Tony Barnes is the player with the ball there. As in the second semi-final, he's been picked on the half-forward flank. He absolutely dominated in that match against Sandhurst. Here he is, Barnes now, just getting the ball relayed back to him. He'll have a shot from far out on that old Melbourne scoreboard flank. He's just going to line up now, Dennis. He's
a beautiful kick of the ball, Tony Barnes, a very good player. Again, I probably wouldn't have played the free kick, but I think he might kick a goal. He's got the wind right behind his back.
In comes Barnes, his shot for goal. He's a little offline in this case. I think it's out of bounds on the full. It is.
Sure, as you give them a rap, they'll miss, Richard.
That's what happens, Dennis, inevitably, isn't it? Anyway, the ball, once it comes back over the fence from the Comet tent, will be given to Andrew McDougall, and he'll take the free.
I wonder how long it's going to take for the Eaglehawks Brain Trust to do their job. There's not much use sitting on the bench doing nothing. There's players being killed all over the ground. They've got to do something now.
There's McDougall's kick. He drives to the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. Edlin was in that pack. He couldn't win it. Goes to Marlowe. He gets it across to Neiman. Neiman down the throat of Exel was beautiful football. This is champagne football. from one of the best sides in country Victoria, and aren't they showing it today? They are playing brilliantly.
And it's not all that hard to understand. They're feeding the ball out to each other, talking to each other, running past, and obviously they're getting into space, and Gavin Exell's going to kick a bag if he gets the people up front doing what they're doing.
He might be just marginally offline on this occasion. Yes, he was. And so Northern United go to 6-6-42. Eaglehawk one behind 1 point. And, well, what are a few of those things Eaglehawk could try, Dennis?
Well, I think they've got to mark the players. It's pretty obvious that Tricky and Exell and Geary and Evans on the wing are the big problem. And I think they've just got to get the message out to somebody to try and do the job to mark them.
There's the kick out. McDougall up the centre. O'Connell out marked. Gerard Geary's on top of the Eaglehawk captain coach. It was a fine Geary mark. He's got it on the diamond line. He's kicked goals from there in the past, but he won't today. Breeze will carry it down toward the square. Exell, got thumped behind the ear, and that was bad play, Pearce. And Exell's going to have a shot 20 metres out, almost right in front.
And very well picked up from the umpires. Tony Pearce made no attempt to go near the ball, and he paid the penalty. They won't beat Gavin Exell by trying to hit him in the head. They tried to do that in the interleague games, and he only gets better.
Here's Gavin Exell lining up for his third goal on Northern United 7s. He's not far out. There's no mistake about that one. It's through the centre. There's 3 goals to Gavin Exell, 7 goals to Northern United, and the Swallows are running away with this one.
Isn't it good to see people who are athletic? He's a beautiful build of a fellow, and I think that I hope he goes to Melbourne League football because he's quite capable of being another big name from the Bendigo teams.
Yes, well, certainly we had the Hall of Fame night on Friday night at the Persian Room in Bendigo, and they picked the 20 best ever players to play Bendigo League football. Names such as Graham Arthur, Peter Piano, Greg Williams came up, and certainly this might be another guy who's going to go down as one of the great stars of Bendigo football. He's a brilliant player.
He is a brilliant player, Sean. I just noticed Danny Slater's gone off. They played Danny Slater in the back line last week, and he was one of their best players. Why on earth would they stick him up forward when they know he can't play there?
Well, that's a good question, I suppose.
Can't answer that one,
I can't answer that one for you at the moment. And after the ball up, United have taken it about 10 metres closer to their goals. There's the ball up now. Ludeman versus Adlam. Comes down to Newman, dropping the ball against that player. Certainly the Eaglehawk crowd. Oh, it's on over the far side too, thank you. A couple of players having a little wrestle on the far half-forward flank. Mountjoy was in that, and what did you pick up, Dennis?
Well, I don't think there's much in it. They're just having a little chat to each other, tell each other about what they did before the game, and I don't think anybody will do any great damage. Brett Gordon's getting interested at least. I'm not for a minute suggesting that Eaglehawk need to fight, but I think if they at least show a bit of interest might be a help.
Well, they've certainly been ordinary early. Adlam, big ball burster, down toward half-forward. Joe Geary rose high, couldn't take the mark. There's a free kick. Going to go United's way, but they call the play-on rule. Reece Langan, long driving kick down the grandstand wing. United playing in front. Pearce caught behind again, and the mark's going to be paid to Tony Barnes. Yes, Barnes it is. He's got the ball, half-forward flank, broadcast side, finds an unmarked Evans. Exell leads into the pocket, and Exell might mark. No. Adlam's able to thump away on this occasion, and McDougall runs the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Gary Evans' influence on the game's remarkable. Shani's played very few games this year. He seems to be in space, a bit like Tricky.
There's the throw-in. Up goes Southcombe from the back, wins it down. Eaglehawk shank it better that time. That's their best bit of play for a little while. And Townrow wins it down the wing. Up they go on this duel, and again it's going to go United's way, and the Eaglehawk crowd didn't like that one much. We're going to see United free kick as they look down to Langan, half-forward flank broadcast side. But Eaglehawk would say poetic justice as it went out of bounds on the full.
I think that's right, Shane. They certainly can't blame the umpire that that wasn't a great decision.
Shannon wins the ball, and he drives toward the centre of the ground. Plenty of Eaglehawk players not doing enough early. Findlay goes in. Oh, they're just being brushed aside so easily at the moment, the Borough. It's on the ground right there in the centre diamond area. Nobody can pick it up. Chance for Ludeman to go in. Findlay's in there as well. Also Peter Rogerson throwing his weight around. An umpire says there's going to be a free kick Eaglehawks way to Brian Dorrington. Dorrington usually a busy player for the Borough. He's got it right in the centre of the ground. He drives long, looking down here for a Gilmore grab. Gilmore out in front that time of Neiman. Couldn't take the mark. Chance now for Munro to go backwards, but at least he's found an Eaglehawk player, and Darren Thompson's got it at centre half forward. And Walsh also a busy player down there, doing well in the early stages of the game. Here's Thompson's kick. Will land in the goal square. Up they go. Big thump from Ludeman. Down to the ground. Walsh is in there, little kick off the ground, lands in the goal square. United have got front stalls again, and Langan's going to win the ball. He's even got time to have a look where he wants to go, or did he carry it over the boundary line? Boundary umpire's going to have last say down there, I fancy, and it's over for a throw in.
Very disciplined play from the Northern United backline players. They punched, big Peter Crane was there, but didn't have a chance with the big fist coming over the top.
47 points adrift, Eaglehawk. They need goals badly. That's an understatement. But once again, United. Marlowe winning the hard ball. Drives down the broadcast wing, and out comes Tony Barnes again. And Barnes is going to take the mark for the Swallows. He gets it running quickly, looking for Geary. The kick was poorly placed. It bounces across half forward. Here's Eaglehawks defenders led by Darby Munro coming in to try and pick up the ball. Munro does it well. Gets the hand pass going. Best bit of Eaglehawk play so far. Mackinder, haven't seen too much of him. He drives toward the far wing position. His target out there was young Darren Thompson. Thompson's beaten for the ball by Evans. Going in hard for them is Brett Gordon. He can't pick it up either. It's very close to the boundary line. Eaglehawk get the front stalls now, but now it's gone over the boundary line for a throw in.
Tony McAleese, I think that was, on the ground for Northern United, was contesting the ball over there on that far side. Shane on the bar's wing, and we're waiting for the throw in from the boundary umpire. It's a free kick, I beg your pardon, to Brett Gordon. Brett Gordon will take the free on the bar's flank.
Great bit of example there from the two young Eaglehawk players, Gordon and Thompson. Showed how it should be done.
Gilmore over the top of the pack, almost marked. The ball's on the ground. In there is Ian Marlowe. As we said before, he'll be in there where the ball is. It's one thing he is. He's a Jack Dyer sort of player, Shane. He's where the ball is.
Yes, and he wins plenty of hard ones, doesn't he, Richard?
And we're coming for the ball up again as Jeff Miller puts it down. Big Ludeman's up high in the air. Can't quite get it away, but Northern United clear from the pack. Over the top goes Gordon. Can't control the ball. It comes down to where a Northern United player is caught fairly high. Dorrington said, "Oh no, I didn't grab him that high, umpire," but Miller says, "Yes, you did," and that's Tony McAleese with the ball.
What happened to the rule of ducking into the play, I'd like to know?
Well, Jeff Miller said you got him too high, Brian, and gives a kick to McAleese. McAleese drives down to the half-forward flank. There's Barnes, high in the air again. Northern Eaglehawk come away with the ball, drive it along that bar's flank again. McAleese has another kick, this time with a left foot. He drives it up into the wing area, but it's a young Murray Collins with the ball, the Eaglehawk ruck rover. He's caught as he plays on. Scotty Neiman's got a bear hug on him, and he'll be deemed to have been caught with the ball, and Neiman will get the free kick.
And this is where Eaglehawk are missing out. Collins, Dorrington, etc. They're the players they need firing up to get the ball out.
There they go again, up and towards the half-forward line. Ninger O'Connell, the Eaglehawk captain coach, drives a good long kick forward into the centre of the field, but flying high there, and a good safe mark taken by Joe Geary, the Northern United centre half-back. He'll look for Geary or Exel down on the half-forward line. It's a shocking wobbly old kick. Almost there was Marlowe, not quite though, couldn't quite control. Through the pack goes that man, Tricky again. He shovels out a handball to Mountjoy, a left-footer to Mountjoy, to the unmarked Southcombe, and Southcombe has marked. About 15 to 20 metres out from goal, and having a bit of a pushing and shoving match there with Andrew McDougall. Southcombe will go back and will very likely kick Northern United's 8.
Tony Southcombe got in the right place, but Mark Mackinder was 7 or 8 metres away from him and didn't even seem to be interested in contesting the ball.
Southcombe going back now to line up for Northern United's 8. It might be just marginally offline. It is. It's a point only to Northern United, and that's Southcombe now kicked 1-1, and Northern United moved to 7-6. So I beg your pardon, 7-49 to 1 behind Eaglehawk.
Southcombe's the real perfectionist, Dennis. He'd be furious with himself for missing that, I'd say.
It was a very poor miss. It's early in the grand final, but really Northern United should have been 10 or 12 goals by this, and if Eaglehawk can happen to get back in the game, I think they'll wish they hadn't missed 2 or 3 easy ones late in this first quarter.
Well, after the kick out, Evans won possession and put it out of bounds on the full, as I'm sure you saw, and now it's Adlam with the ball for Eaglehawk. And a long driving kick from George Adlam, as he's affectionately known in Borough country, up toward the half-forward line area. This United defence hasn't done a bad job this quarter, mind you, and Mark Rhodes in there for them now. McAleese in there too. Ball held on to a player over there, and there's a little bit of pushing and shoving up there between McAleese and Gordon right through this first quarter. Ooh. And that's erupted into a little bit of a to-do now as Baines goes in. And I'll tell you what, he's not frightened to let a few go, Dennis.
He did. He looked like Joe Bagner on the television set, but they'll need to do a little bit more than that, but at least it's some sort of interest, and they'll go down the tube unless they get very interested in what's going on. This doesn't look too good, though.
Mark Road was put down early. They're all in there at the moment. I think Baines might be quite as heavy as Joe Bagner. Joe weighed in at 16.10 the other night, but they're in there at the moment, and Nick Gibson's taking Mark Road away. I thought Mark might have copped a nasty one. They're in there again, and it's still continuing.
Richard, let's check the goal kickers in the first 20 minutes of footy whilst this little stoush goes on, because United's had some brilliant players.
Right, well, while Scotty Neiman and Peter Crone are having a few words, the goal kickers for Northern United, Gavin Exel has 3, Gerard Geary has 2, and 1 apiece to Tony Southcombe and Darren Tricky.
Well, we can't really say too much on the Eaglehawk side of the ledger. 7 goals down is not really the time to be starting to do that, Dennis. They should have done it a quarter of an hour ago.
It's probably not the time, but it's amazing to see how few players do much damage when there's a big group of players around. It looks bad, and I don't think it's good for young people to watch, but I don't think anyone was hurt, Shane.
Well, we're going to see an Eaglehawk free kick come out of it all, and it's going to go to Big Crow. Now, last time he had a free kick, he kicked into the player in front of him. No, the umpire's changed his mind. It's going to go back to the boundary umpire, is it? And the boundary umpire's going to have last say. So about 3 minutes later, there goes the throw in. Up they go. Adlam wins it down. Ludeman's in there too. Ball comes to the ground. There's a big pack of players around it. It's going to go against the Borough. They've probably been penalised harshly on a couple of occasions this quarter. Murray Collins is going to take the kick for United. Murray Collins, for the Borough, was the player penalised. Let's check that and get it right as Marlowe wins it now. Osborne was the player with that free kick back down the ground. Pearce has won it now for the Borough. Oh, his hand pass is a shocker. Gerard Geary goes in. He's playing like a player possessed in the early stages of this game. Now it's on that half-forward line area for United. Crone battling hard, trying to pick up. But it's siren time, and Eaglehawk could not have dreamt of a worse start. And certainly United, Tony Southcombe and the boys couldn't have dreamt of a better one. Quarter time at the Queen Elizabeth Oval in Bendigo. Northern United 7-7-49. Eaglehawk 1 behind, 1 point.
It looks like, Shane, yes, I was just going to say, it looks like one of the umpires, Nick Gibson, ran quickly over to Ian Baines, and it looks like Baines has been reported. There's Nick Gibson, the taller of the 2 umpires, on the right of your screen there, marking down a name in his book. So I'd say that Ian Baines might have had his name taken there by umpire Nick Gibson.
Well, Dennis, what an absolute onslaught from United from the very first bounce. Brilliant football.
Yes, brilliant football. Let's give credit. One side has gone out there and kept their mind in order and stuck to the pattern of play that they've played all year. That is to run the ball, back each other up, run aggressively at the ball. Eaglehawk just as interested. Obviously, everybody playing in the grand final would love to do well, but they've drawn a total blank. They're not backing each other up. There's no handball. There's no running past each other. I would say, in fact, that only Peter Crone of the players that have had much influence around the ground looks as if he's even got any idea of getting the hard ball and trying to get it out to anyone. And that's largely what it's about. 1986, unless you run that ball, you will not win.
Well, that's quarter time. 7-7-49 the Swallows. 1 behind, 1 point. Eaglehawk. A brilliant start from United. Eaglehawk will kick with the breeze in the second quarter. We'll be back shortly to see if they can make any impression on this big leeway which awaits them.
Well, we're looking at the Eaglehawk camp at quarter time, Shane. The 2 mounted policemen are out on the ground. That's a good innovation, and they're there to keep the umpires in safety. There's a shot of them on the ground now.
Eaglehawk need 1 at centre-half forward and 1 at centre-half back.
You're quite right. Let's take a break at quarter time on TV8 Football. With Oval on Bendigo Football League Grand Final Day 1986. Quarter time, Northern United 7-7-49 lead Eaglehawk 1 behind, 1 point. A brilliant burst in the first quarter from Northern United. And Dennis, as far as the statistics go and better players, what have you got to say firstly about the Swallows, who've got that very, very good lead?
The Swallows have been brilliant. They've had 72 possessions total for the first quarter as compared to Eaglehawk's 41, so it's been a complete dominance. But Tricky, Geary, Gavin Exel and Gary Evans, I think, have been the initiators of most of what's gone on. They've played brilliantly. For Eaglehawk, Brian Dorrington perhaps has contributed. Darby Munro's tried hard in the back line, but I just hope for the sake of the crowd and for the sake of the Eaglehawk Football Club that they can come out in the second corner, get their act together and at least contest, and so that come in at half-time, so there might be 3 or 4 down, and then they're still in with a chance. So you never give up at quarter-time in any big game, Shane.
Something we didn't say before the game, and probably should have mentioned, is the fact that Northern United were probably kicking with about a 3 or 4 goal breeze in that quarter. It's quite blustery down to that city end, and certainly they've used it and used it very well. So Eaglehawk have probably got the opportunity in this quarter to try and bridge that gap somewhat.
That's right, Shane, and that does a lot for your confidence. As I said earlier in the telecast, I certainly think Northern United should have been 10 to 11 or 12 goals. So if you're looking for something positive, that's one thing. Eaglehawk can get back in this game. I've seen games, many a game, won from a lot worse positions than this.
Let's join Alan Besley down on the ground. Alan.
Well, Robert O'Connell told his players to get in where the ball is and not 15 yards away, and Tony Southcomb's told his players not to get carried away, continue to attack this quarter. Out in the centre, actually, Shane, that breeze is going straight across the ground now, so it's not favouring either end.
Well, that's interesting, Alan, and thanks for those words. And, of course, Alan Besley will be catching up with the coaches and also some of the big names at half-time. And, of course, don't forget also at half-time we've got the footballers' foot race. Richard, what did you pick up in that first quarter? Certainly we all picked up how brilliant United was, but certainly there were some outstanding players for them.
Well, I was most impressed with Gavin Exell. The fellow hasn't played since the last home and away game of the year, which was towards the end of August at Canterbury Park when Eaglehawk actually won. A player we haven't mentioned in the best players. I go along with those named by Dennis: Tricky, Geary, Exell, Evans. I would have put in Gary Mountjoy. He's had 9 possessions in the first quarter, and Gary Mountjoy is one of those players I spoke about at the beginning of the match. The experience factor, very, very vital for Northern United in these big games. There's a shot of Tony Barnes and Peter Rogerson. Barnes, a very useful player for the United.
And certainly Gerard Geary looks pretty proper. Keep your eye on him, Dennis. I wonder if Gerard Geary is going to see out this game. He's up there at centre half forward at the Barnard Street end and doesn't look particularly healthy as Big Ludeman gets a punch away. There's that man Geary now, caught with the ball, dropping the ball, said the Eaglehawk supporters. Umpire said no. Oh, there's a tough tackle on that United player at Murray Osborne. He kicks it off the ground. It finds Evans at half forward. Evans feeds it on now toward Barnes, and Barnes goes bang. Oh, goodness gracious me, this is one behind 1 point. You're not seeing things as Big Crone wins the thump, but straight down Marlowe's throat, and Marlowe drives toward half forward. There's that man Geary again. Well, he looked very proper at quarter time, but he's gone up and taken a beautiful mark over McDougall. He drives down looking toward full forward. His target there was Osborne. Ball's punched away though by the Eaglehawk defenders. Out they come. Pearce is in there. In there too for the Borough that time was David Townrow. This time they can get it running, can they? Well done by Bert McIver, who's been quiet. He drives to centre half forward. O'Connell, captain coach, has placed himself in attack in this quarter.
And it's good to see them making a positive move to change the side around.
There's O'Connell's long kick. He'll be looking for Gilmore, who was caught behind. No one can take the mark. Big George Adlam's in there. Snap out of the pack. Eaglehawk looking a little bit more desperate in that passage of play, but out of bounds on the full, under plenty of pressure.
Brian Dorrington was the player who had that kick. I think Shane from the back of the pack got up on one knee and had a shot. Scotty Neiman's in the back pocket. He's waving Collins away. He says, give us a bit of room to kick it, but Collins won't budge. There's Neiman's kick up onto the half-back flank. Big Crone goes in the air. 17 votes in the Mickelson medal. Peter Crone, formerly of St Arnaud, for those North Central viewers who are watching. And Peter Crone will have a shot for goal. Now, this is one of the handful of deliberate shots that Eaglehawk has had for goal in this match. It's a long, low floater. It doesn't go anywhere in particular. No one marks it into full forward zone. Collins is ridden to the ground by Craig Neiman, and I think the umpire will call for a ball up.
This for 15 minutes of the second quarter is going to be vital. Eaglehawk at least have got possession of the ball first a couple of times.
There's the ball up in the air. Will go Big George Adlam. He did this in a semi-final. He's had a snap. It's held up in the air, and I think either through for a point or, yes, it's a point to Adlam, a snap from a pack. In fact, in one of the semi-finals not so long ago, he had a great little kick out of the pack like that and put it straight through. Craig Neiman drives the ball back into play from the full-back position. They fly in the air on the forward flank. First to the ball would be Dorrington. He has got it, got possession of it, fell over with it. In there will go the Northern United ball players, but it's punched along the ground, and I think a free kick, Dennis, to the Eaglehawk side.
Yes, something might go Eaglehawk's way. They didn't have the numbers there again. Brian Dorrington had to do it on his own.
Dorrington goes long towards the half-forward flank again. In the air goes Finlay. A handball out of the pack by Eaglehawk. Over to Wayne Walsh. Walsh has given it over to Murray Collins. Collins might have run 2 steps too far, but poked through off the ground, I think. Darryl Gilmore has got it.
It's taken them a quarter and a little bit to get a goal, but they're 1-2 after that Gilmore soccer off the ground, and they go forward again toward their captain, Coach O'Connell. He couldn't take the mark. Featherby comes out for Northern United and wins the ball and drives back into the centre of the Queen Elizabeth Oval. He'll be looking down there for Tricky, who couldn't take the mark. Well done by young Gordon, who's winning kicks. He drives toward the wing position, but in goes Barnes. He got over the shoulder that time of Bert McIver, and McIver's going to take the free kick for the Eaglehawk side. He's in the centre diamond, but almost out toward the wing on the grandstand side. He'll go down looking for Adlam, who got caught out of position. Chance here for Gilmore to take the ball. Hasn't done too much early. Featherby's been a desperate player, and he wins position across toward Mountjoy. Mountjoy loses it though. Brett Gordon goes in. Well done. And Brett Gordon, the youngster, kicks over the shoulder, but right down the throat of Featherby. Featherby dropped the sitter, but then wins possession again and drives back down toward the wing position. Crone's underneath this. Exell makes him work for it though. Ball comes to the ground. Shannon's in there, so also is Townrow. A handball out of the pack. Lands in the hands that time of Andrew McDougall. Oh, they're making some mistakes, and Marlowe's chipped in. Here's danger. Marlowe for United. Half-forward flank. Hand passes backwards to Exel. And on the run, this fellow would nearly kick this on a good day. It's curving back. Oh, goodness gracious me. A ripper.
It's Brad.
So that brilliant Exel running goal go to 9-7-61. Eaglehawk 1-2-8. And we've played in the second quarter now for 6 minutes. And after the ball up, we're going to see a pack of players developing around the ball. And the ball's going to go to ground again. Umpire puts it to ground, and we'll get a comment from Dennis Higgins in just a moment on that brilliant Exel goal. It was one of the best running goals I've seen here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval for quite a while. Gordon wins it away. Hand passes to nobody in particular. O'Connell gets a bad bounce. That's the way the game seems to be going for Eaglehawk at the moment. Slater's in there. He can't pick it up. Hand pass comes out to Wood Osborne. Drops the ball. Back to Gordon. Well done. They're kicking blind Eaglehawk. Not too much system in their play. And this one right down the throat of Northern United's Tony McAleese. He goes wide, looking for Reece Langan, who got an unfavourable bounce on that occasion. Allows Slater to come into the game. McIver's in there too. And we're going to see a free kick going United's way. Dennis?
The goal of Gavin Exels was absolutely brilliant. The player again giving him a lot of space, and once Gavin gets a space in front of him, he goes for it. He's such a magnificent kick.
You wouldn't believe he had plaster around one of those legs on Mickelson Medal Night 3 weeks ago, Richard.
The kicking leg, that was his left leg, the Dicey won the kicking leg. Anyway, the ball's gone out of bounds on the bar's wing, Shane, as we wait for the boundary umpire to throw it back into play. They fly in here. There's Exel himself going up for the ball that time. Eaglehawk player caught without the ball and must get the free kick. No! Dropping the ball, says umpire Miller, and it's Brett Sheldon, one of Northern United's key players. Towards centre half forward, they fly in here. Good mark, Peter Rogerson. Elects to play on. Eaglehawk needs plenty of this sort of running play. 2 bounces, Peter Rogerson goes through the centre of the QEO. Looking up here for Gilmore. Gilmore's in front of Neiman on this occasion and has got the mark. Right out on the half-forward flank, rotunda side. There's another little bit of a Barney behind play as I'll watch Gilmore go for the shot for goal. As umpire Gibson has now held it up while umpire Miller's in the middle. There's an Eaglehawk player in the hands of the trainer, Dennis.
I think it's Brett Gordon. That was caused by Tony Barnes came in. Brett Gordon went to blocking. Tony Barnes, I think, might have given him one for his corner. I think he's okay. He's up. But actually, I think it was just something that in a collision. Richard.
Right, well, Gilmore's taking the shot for goal. Thanks, Dennis, as Neiman's on the mark. Not a very good-looking kick from Gilmore. May just sneak in for a point, and that'll be all it'll get as Eaglehawk they go on to 1-3, 9 points, trailing Northern United 9-7-61.
Eaglehawk still don't look great, but at least they're getting a bit of possession of the ball. Peter Rogerson's interested in evening up. I'm not sure whether that's going to do much good.
Ball's driven back into play by the Eaglehawk fullback. In the van of play here is Scotty Neiman. Little chippy kick towards the boundary line. That's out of bounds on the full. No question about that. It's out of bounds, and that will be an Eaglehawk kick. And Robert O'Connell says, quick, get it over to me. O'Connell's got it. Drives long into full forward. The ball floats across the city end face of goals. They fly high in the air. Here's Wayne Walsh in the van for Eaglehawk. Can't match Mark Road. Mark Rocky Road dashes down the far side. Drives it up towards the centre position. There's the old workhorse, Gary Mountjoy, on his own in the centre. Goes for the balk, eludes one player, drives in towards centre half forward. Who's home? No one there for United, but Mark McIntyre comes through. Left foot kick towards centre half forward. Who's there for Eaglehawk? No one is there for Eaglehawk, and it's David Ludeman to take the saving mark.
Eaglehawk's half-back line look a little bit aggressive at last.
Well, there's the kick now as United drive in toward the centre of the Queen Elizabeth Oval. A little bit of pushing and shoving against Rogerson. Marlowe takes it for United. He drives down looking for a running Exel again. He shoved away McDougall. Bang! It's home! Oh, brilliant football, Exel. United 1-3-9 Eaglehawk, and Gavin Exel really playing a superb game up forward as Eaglehawk are penalised in the centre diamond for a dropping the ball decision.
Northern United are playing much better than Eaglehawk, but by golly, some of these decisions from the umpire are absolutely atrocious.
Well, Geary drops a mark at centre half forward, chance for Neiman to come into the game, and as you can hear from the crowd, it's a Borough free kick, and it's going to be taken by Murray Collins. Collins had a good first year with Eaglehawk as he drives down the wing position. Shannon hasn't been in the game too much as yet. There's going to be a free kick against young Andrew Shannon on this occasion. In a second tier in the broadcasting position doesn't agree with it. It's going to go the way of Brett Sheldon, a relatively quiet player for United in the early part of the game. Sheldon's kick down there toward half forward. Exel up. Oh, nearly got it second grab. In fact, it's going to be paid for mine. Well, he may have been held as he came down. I thought that might have been what the umpire indicated.
I think that's what he did pay it for, Shane. It's very difficult to see, make sure I'm not seeing through two blue eyes, but I do think that the umpires are being a trifle lenient.
Well, certainly there didn't seem to be a lot of holding there as we saw the replay.
There was
But
Nussel.
Well, you've got it from Dennis Higgins. Let's check Exel's goal tally, Richard.
Exel's got 5, Shane. Gerard Geary's got 2. Tricky, Southcombe and Tony Barnes have got 1 each.
Well, here's Exel now. He is 40 metres from goal, and he is on a very slight angle. Left footer. Well, he's allowed too much for the breeze on this occasion. It swings it back as it blows across the ground, as you heard Alan Besley indicate earlier, but 1 point only. 10-8 to 1-3 is the scoreboard.
It was quite an intelligent kick, actually. Just started out a little bit wide.
There's the kick out now. Eaglehawk finds Mackinder. Back pocket on the rotunda or the outer side of the Queen Elizabeth Oval. It's Bendigo Football League Grand Final day, and they're packed in now. Certainly looked a fairly poor crowd early in the day when the cloud was in, but once the sun began to shine, the Bendigonians have come out in their droves. But certainly the Eaglehawk supporters are going to have a long drive back over the famous Eaglehawk Bridge tonight, the way their Chargers are playing at the present time, as they win the ball now and drive down the outer wing position. Up goes Rode, thumps it away. McIver comes in for Eaglehawk. Having a little bit of trouble picking it up, McIver, but he's got a few mates out there for the Borough, and it's trickled over for a throw-in.
Very difficult to find good players for Eaglehawk at this stage, but they are trying to get back into the game. They just haven't got enough players on top.
Southcome's having a run on the ball now. Taps down, but Shannon wins it. Well done, Andrew Shannon. But there's no Eaglehawk half forward line at all. The bouncer favours Robert O'Connell, who could flash into the game. Gilmore's got the chance. He ran right into Crone. Now there's the chance for Gilmore again. He wins it. Kicks into the player in front of him. And now it's all Swallows. Gary Evans wins the ball. Fires the hand pass across, and they're running again. McAleese for United. And McAleese looking for Exel again. Exel uses the body well, and Barnes flashes in. He'll go bang. And I think he might have kicked another, or is he just offline? Yes, offline this time, says the umpire, and 1 point only. The United forward line is open, it's effective, and it's dangerous.
And most of all, up front of them, the centre line's absolutely dominating.
69 to 9. Well, 10 goals in front, and what's happened here? Barnes has chipped in after the kick out, and he's kicked one. He's got into the act as Murray Barnes. 5 Northern United after that woeful bit of defensive play there, as Tony Barnes, not Murray Barnes, but Tony chipped in to kick that fine United goal. He's got in on the act now, and they are taking Eaglehawk to shreds here. 11-9 to 1-3 as the Borough win it, and the players almost be panted there, if there's such a word. It goes to the half-forward line for Eaglehawk. O'Connell's dispossessed, goes to McAleese. He puts it down the throat there of Sheldon wing position. In goes Barnes as well, playing a good game, Tony Barnes, and it's over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Tony Barnes and Peter Rogerson, both very strong, aggressive players. I think if they get excited, it could be interesting.
Well, that might be about all it's going to be interesting as this game turns into a whitewash, as it's won now by Eaglehawk's Andrew Shannon. Got one a little high, said the umpire. It's going to be against you that time, Murray Osborne, and the free kick to Shannon.
Well, Andrew Shannon went to school at Assumption College down in Kilmore, and guess who's here watching him? One of his best friends, Billy Brownless. Shane comes from that good club, of course, Geelong, down at Cardinia Park, and Bill Brownless is here along with a number of other players. I saw Dean Strosh from Carlton, of course. Here across the half-forward line for Eaglehawk, it's a free kick. David Ludeman is the player with his hands up in the air, and Robert O'Connell, the Eaglehawk skipper, to take the free.
Robert O'Connell having one of the evener uppers, I think, but now he's got a 15-metre penalty. It's crucial in the next 10 minutes that they kick 4 or 5 goals. I don't think they've got much of a chance unless they do. Robert's quite a good kick for goal, and I'd back him in. Captain and coach, I hope he does it for his side.
Robert O'Connell lining up for Eaglehawk's second only goal in this match, and I've got the time clock on 14 minutes in the second quarter. O'Connell shoots for goal. I think it's all right. It's there all right. That's Eaglehawk's.
3-15 to 11-9-75 in the Bendigo Football League Grand Final. It's United leading by 10 goals even, and Danny Slater for the first time all day bursts out of the centre. He'll be looking for Crone or Gilmore. Crone! That's a great mark, a one-hander.
That's the mark of the day so far, Shane. And again, Peter Crone showing he's got a great attitude for a young player. He's not going to give up, and I hope the team doesn't give up.
Let's have a look at Crone. Beautiful mark, that one, as you saw on the replay.
He's not the best kick in the world, so I hope he does kick it.
Well, right footer is allowed for the breeze. Oh, Dennis, you're a pretty good judge. Inter-league coach was Dennis Higgins in Bendigo, and he knows their weaknesses. Out of bounds on the full, and it's going to be a Northern United resultant free kick. The Borough just can't seem to get going at all, Dennis.
There's nothing going right for them, no flow, but they've just got to keep at it. They won't expect miracles, but you never know. They may get back in the game.
Joe Geary kicks out from that back pocket. He elects on the half-back flank on the other side of the ground. Up they go. Langan was in the play there, got the hand pass across. Bad mistake that time from Osborne as he dropped that ball. We're going to see a free kick to Danny Slater, beginning to win a few possessions now. He's been quiet. They need him running. He will look across here for his teammate in Murray Collins, but Collins has had a shocking day. And Scott Neiman's got that mark of the true centre half back position. United playing like a side that really wants that third flag in a row. The boys from Raywood and Camarooka doing it brilliantly. Tricky, the player who got them going in the first quarter, fires the hand pass across to a running Sheldon, and a long kick looking for Exel. He couldn't take the mark. Ball's on the ground, and this time Eaglehawk defenders are able to win it away. Hand pass across to McDougall was well done. An Eaglehawk kick for the safety of the boundary line. Brett Gordon comes into the game. He gets the hand pass going now. Oh, but they're still getting bad bounces right the way through as Marlowe bursts in now for United. And Marlowe's got time to dummy around, tried to keep the ball in play, but carried it over the boundary line for a throw in.
Yes, and there's the scoreboard. As you can see, Northern United 11-9, 75, Eaglehawk 2-3, 15, a 60-point lead to the Swallows from the Northern United area, Camarooka, Neilborough, Hunter, all those places, Raywood up there. The ball comes back into the centre wing position. Umpire Jeff Miller's pulled the free kick out of the hat here. It was a pretty raffly one, that one. It'll go to Eaglehawks at Dorrington, I think, against Mark Road, number 32.
What sort of a free kick? A raffly? I haven't heard one of those before, James.
Well, I don't know which. He must have had the mental coin in the air as that one, as the ball was flying loose. Here it is in the Eaglehawk forward pocket. Through comes McAleese for Northern United. He may have run out of bounds with the ball. He has. Give it to me, says the boundary umpire McDonald, and he'll throw that ball back into play.
Eaglehawk have still got no fluency, but they are at least contesting a bit harder.
Ball goes in the air. Crone from the back gives it over to Shannon. Shannon kicks towards true centre half forward. Who's home but Tricky and Mountjoy for Northern United. Not an Eaglehawk player there. Mountjoy taps the ball to the ground. Looks upfield for someone. No one home there for Northern United on that occasion. Out towards the ball comes Mark McIntyre. Gathers it, no, spills it, gathers it, balks round, takes it on the left hand, will drive in towards centre half forward again, looking for Robert O'Connell. Punched away cleverly there by Murray Osborne, the player that United got from the Seymour area. Alan Finlay dashes through for Eaglehawk. Wobbly old kick, and waiting in front of a pack is Craig Neiman. Scott Neiman, his brother, has got the ball. Play on, says the umpire. David Ludeman eventually drives it out of that scrambly piece of play, finds it upfield to Northern United, who have got it on the wing. Looking in there for Jared Geary. Oh, great mark, Jared Geary. Plays on quickly with the left foot, looking to Exel. Who's there? There's Exel. Peter Rogerson comes in, and there goes Exel down on the ground. Peter Rogerson is a vigorous player, as we all know, and he made his presence felt there. Gavin's taking an extra couple of breaths as he goes back to take the kick. On the mark is Andrew McDougall. Exel will be lining up for his sixth in this on this kick.
Well, he's playing a brilliant game and 15 metres, and I should think so, Dennis.
Peter Rogerson came in very late. He didn't really hit with his arm. He just grabbed him around the neck. I don't think Gavin would have been too worried.
Okay, well, it's Exel now lining up for his sixth, and I think he's missed it, to the great delight, I might say, of the Eaglehawk fans. That gives Exel 5 goals, 3 for the day. He came in rather tentatively there. He didn't seem to steady at all well. He sort of poked at the ball rather than kicking through it.
Always tends to chip the ball with his close shots. He's usually a pretty good shot.
There's the kick out now. It goes to the half-back flank. Oh, nearly a beautiful two-handed mark taken there out there on the far side of the ground for the Borough. Adlam's in there now. He tries to work the handball out to McIver. Adlam works in again, but Langan's got too much pace. Well done. And Langan for United chips the pass across to centre half forward. And Jared Geary, who we said at the start of the quarter mightn't see out the quarter, let alone the game, is still having a big influence on this match. And Jared Geary's got the ball 45 metres out from goal, as good as directly in front. Usually a beautiful kick of the footy. Breeze playing havoc out there today, but Geary hasn't let it worry him. He's put it right through the centre. Great. 15. 10 goals above now in front are Northern United, looking for 3 flags in a row as Osborne kicks it out of the centre, taken by Danny Slater. And Eaglehawk Slater drives toward Gilmore, who's out at half forward now. The bounce eludes him. Joe Geary out in front of Ninger O'Connell, drives to Evans, and Gary Evans is marked on the wing position on the grandstand side. It's been a brilliant half of football from Eaglehawk, from Northern United, I should say. And as we approach time on in the second quarter, this Northern United lead of over 10 goals looks almost unassailable even at this early stage of the day. They're looking for 3 flags in a row, and this has been by far their most impressive grand final performance in recent years. As Eaglehawk win the ball now on the half-back line. They look down here for Dorrington. He's outpointed by Mark Rocky Road, the ex-Sandhurst player, Eaglehawk crowd don't like it much, but Rhodes going to take the mark, and he gets the ball moving toward the centre. Langan's made good position. He runs around Findlay with ease and then puts it high and long, hoping for Exel or South come over the back. He couldn't take the mark, and running the ball out of the fence now for Eaglehawk is David Townrow. Townrow goes wide. He's got Gordon running out there. Now it comes across to Collins, and away go the Borough down that far wing position. Chance for Slater to receive the handball. Slater runs inboard. That's good footy. Trying to open up the game a little bit. Oh, and a United player, Mountjoy, went down. Keep your eye on that, Dennis, as they find Gilmore. Now, that player, as we take it back up the ground, it's on after that duel. That player, I'm pretty sure it was Mountjoy, went down very heavily in a shepherding incident. And there's a big pack of players out there on the far wing position. We're having a look at Slater's pass in here now toward Gilmore, who's going to line up. The bump was just off your picture. No, there it goes. Mountjoy went down very hard. And I'll get a comment from Dennis on that one in a moment. But Gilmore's about to line up here now. He would be 25 to 30 metres out. Usually doesn't miss those from right in front as Darryl, but even he's having an ordinary day after kicking a bag in the preliminary, and it's 1 point only. 2-4 to 12-10. It's United by 11 goals.
Still playing very well, United. The incident before Shane was McIver just blocked Mountjoy. I don't think he did him any great damage.
Well, OK. We'll agree to disagree as Gilmore comes in and marks after the kick out. That was a nice diving mark too from Darryl Gilmore. And he's got the ball now at the true centre half forward position here on Bendigo's famous Queen Elizabeth Oval, and he will come in to kick for goal from, let's say, 45 to 50 metres out. That's a pretty ordinary looking kick again. Crone in the goal square. It's cleared all hands, but went the wrong side of the post, said the umpire. 1 point.
Darryl Gilmore's an amazing player. If his confidence up, he can kick them from 50 metres out, and he doesn't even make the distance when his confidence down.
Well, there's the kick out now. Coming from Craig Neiman to the half-back flank. Ball stumped to the ground. Marlowe reads it beautifully. 30-metre hand pass down Sheldon's throat was nice play. Sheldon goes toward the half-forward line. McIntyre comes out, playing in front, reaps the benefits and tries to kick down toward George Adlam, who takes the ball. Hand passes across to Shannon. Didn't want it badly enough. Out comes the running Neiman again. Doing well and drives long. Looking here for Barnes. Rogerson thumps the ball away on this occasion and then picks up at centre half-back. Good play, Peter Rogerson. Then fell over, got off balance. Hand passes though toward McIver, and they're going to get away as they find Gordon. Brett Gordon's got it, wing position on the broadcast or grandstand side. Exel goes in a fairly high one there. Now, Exel is not the doyen of the Eaglehawk crowd, is he, Dennis?
He's not, but he didn't really do anything. All he did was try to tackle. He did connect him around the face, but I don't think he meant to do it.
I agree with that, but certainly don't they love to hate Gavin Exel. He's one of those players that brings crowds to footy matches.
That's because he's good, Shane.
He's a brilliant player. There's the long kick, looking for O'Connell, who hasn't been a raging success on the forward line this quarter, I might add. Tricky goes in, ducks his head in, no free kick. That's good umpiring for mine, and it's on the half-forward flank broadcast side. Good shot there of young Gordon, telling the trainer he thinks he's okay. I think the trainer might want him to come off. Keep your eye on that one, Richard, as we take it back now to the half-forward flank where the action is. Umpire sorting out a melee there.
That's Murray Osborne, the player getting up off the ground there, number 16. Nick Gibson will put the ball down as Brett Gordon has come off on the boundary line there with Peter Stockton and the Eaglehawk runner. The ball stumped out of bounds on that occasion from that ball up, and boundary umpire McDonald, I think, no, I beg your pardon, Bellasini will throw the ball back into play again. Adlam opposed to Ludeman in this ruck duel. They'll go up high. There's big Adlam over the pack goes Findlay. Thumps it out forward. Tricky will gather it. Falls over as he tries to gather, and another stacks on a mill type event up there in the Eaglehawk forward pocket. No one can clear the ball. It's still on the ground. Umpire Gibson says, give it over to me, fellas, it's mine, and he'll ball it up again.
And we're into time on in the second quarter, and Eaglehawk have made no progress whatever.
Eaglehawk just can't seem to get any system going at all. They certainly don't feed the ball out to each other, and hence all the ball ups.
And it's still another ball up there. Again, it's been in that position for about best part of a minute and a bit there, Shane, as umpire Gibson says, cool it down, chaps, I'll have the ball, thanks. Tricky gives the ball back to him, and Gibson will put it in the air again. And
as Exel jogged back toward the half-forward line, the whole Eaglehawk grandstand just gave him the hoots, and they love to hate him, but at the moment Exel's having the last laugh.
Well, I've got Exel down for 5 goals 3, and he's certainly been the difference between these two teams. The sore ankle doesn't seem to be bothering Exel at all at the moment. Okay, the ball will come back into play now. Adlam and Ludeman, Dennis.
Gavin Exel will be well advised to take no notice of the crowd. He's got nothing to prove. He's a brilliant player. He's playing brilliantly today, and the less notice he takes of the crowd, the better.
Well, I get the impression he's loving every moment of it, Dennis.
He is enjoying it, I think, yes.
Okay, well, it's going to come back for yet another throw in, and from behind, Ludeman can't foil Adlam on that occasion, tries to tap along the ground. It is tapped along the ground further by Northern United. There's Ian Baines in the van for Eaglehawk, finally cleared by Gary Evan, drives up towards the wing. There's excellent McDougall going for the ball. McDougall's there. Through goes Tony Barnes. Darby Munro behind the pack, shovels it forward, but umpire Jeff Miller in the centre of the ground said free kick Darby Munro. Munro goes towards centre half forward, looking for Gilmore or O'Connell. Neiman's in the front of the pack. That was Craig Neiman. He goes through, but he can't collect it in time. Danny Slater finally gets possession. Handballs over to, I think it's Andrew Shannon.
Yes.
Shannon has a shot for goal. I think it's through. A left foot shot by Andrew.
Blues as they go to 3-5-23, but United coming into attack after the bounce. Chance for Barnes to go in. Now it goes across to Neiman. Neiman down toward the full forward line area. Out come Eaglehawks defenders. Mackinder playing a better quarter, and he brings it right across to the back pocket where Andrew McDougall's made good position and will take the mark. He's got plenty of time now on the beautiful green grass of the Queen Elizabeth Oval to drive down the wing position. Out comes Gilmore. Good to see Daryl Gilmore getting into the game, but he's taken a good mark. Hand passes across to Shannon, who's becoming busier. He'll look for O'Connell, and the captain coach couldn't hold the mark. Fires the hand pass now across to Pearson. Pearson's wobbly old kick goes over the boundary line in the forward pocket.
Robbie O'Connell's not playing a great game. He doesn't seem to be in quite as good a touch as he has been in the other games.
Well, we're going to see a throw in deep in the forward pocket area. Situation, if you've just joined us on TV8 in Bendigo League's grand final, the big one of 1986 in front of a huge crowd now. It's 12-10-82 the Swallows. 3-5-23 the two Blues. There's the throw in. Findlay punches it forward toward the goal square area. Out come United. McAleese goes short. He'll be looking here for Osborne, who couldn't take the mark. Pearce comes in, tackled, and then wins possession. Has the kick smothered though, and the ball's rolled over the boundary line for a throw in.
And the smother there's indicative of how Northern United are playing. You make no mistake, they're playing magnificently, the Northern United Football Club.
Don't think there's a side outside Melbourne that would have beaten them this afternoon in this first half performance anyway. It's been absolutely devastating as they win possession now. Back pocket position on the grandstand side. Neiman, but a poorly placed kick has been taken by Collins, and for the first time he shows a bit of aggression. McIver hasn't wanted the ball all day, and there was another good example of it. Slater goes in. He's tackled, dodges. He's surrounded by maroon and gold jumpers. Now it goes to Adlam, who puts an up and under in. Wayne Walsh is caught behind. McAleese punches to the ground. In they go the Borough boys now. Can they pick it up on this occasion? Shannon's needed. He can't win it. Goes across to Mountjoy. Oh, good disposal. Langan got a bad bounce though. Darby Munro's been quiet. Comes back to Langan. Good play. And the young Reece Langan traverses the diamond and goes to centre half forward as the half-time siren goes on Bendigo Football League grand final day. And what an impressive half it's been. There's the scores as we stand by for a break. Northern United 12-10-82. Eaglehawk 3-5-23. 5-23. I'd imagine Dennis and Richard that Trevor Beaton of Kangaroo Flat, Tony Jones of Golden Square, both in the picture there for a moment, would be the fancied runners. I don't know what you like at picking foot race winners.
Well, Trevor Beaton looks like a pure thoroughbred, and I think the other blokes might be fairly good footballers.
I think that could be fairly well put, and Richard's going to give us a quick call of the sprinters. They move down the grandstand flank here. It's always a big attraction on Bendigo Football League Grand Final Day, the footballers sprint, and certainly a great innovation of the Bendigo Football League Board of Management, who've done such a fine job in promoting Bendigo football in 1986. Richard, we're not expecting it to be Bill Collins or Bert Bryant, but see how many you can pick up as they move down the broadcast wing.
Right, well, they're on their mark, Shane. One last-minute change. Shane Kendall from South Bendigo, not Chris Chant. They're on their marks. Beaton's away pretty well on the far side. Tony Jones is trying to stay with him, but Beaton has put out a bit of a lead at the moment. Tony Jones of Golden Square will come down second, but Trevor Beaton's won it. Tony Jones second. Close between Petrie of Kennington and Roberts of Sandhurst for third, but no doubt that Trevor Beaton takes out his second successive Comet Dash, and I think it's quite a handy little $200 purse to the winner.
I think the ABC might be after you for a race calling position, Jonesy. Well done, and I think we've picked the trifecta there with Trevor Beaton of Kangaroo Flat on your screen there. He has done some professional foot running and certainly an excellent runner. There he is, the winner. Tony Jones of Golden Square second, and the judge had the camera out for third. And let's go down to Bendigo's Hall of Fame on Friday night, talking to the United coach, Tony Southcombe, who also, there they are there, the two boys with Hassel Hall, Peter Mulqueen and Johnny Mulqueen, the brains trust really at Northern United, talking about that first half. They must be reasonably happy, and certainly great to see Southcombe and Best come into the Northern United Hall of Fame and the Bendigo Football League Hall of Fame Friday night. Back to your thoughts.
Yes, it is just on Ronnie Best. The contemporary players chosen the other night for the Hall of Fame, they were magnificent players. Ronnie Best, I know, gave a motivational address prior to the game, so I think he'd be feeling quite happy with himself. I do think it really is a matter of the Eaglehawk players who dominated last week, and we were wondering, they played probably 110 to 120% last week. They haven't come up. None of the players who were down a little bit last week have improved, such as McIver, etc.
Yes.
So it's little wonder Eaglehawk really don't have any great contributors at all. They've got a couple of tries.
Well, there's one man on your screen there, Peter Rogerson, head down, and he's tried to rough up a few of United players, but really hasn't had a good day, has he?
No, he hasn't. That will only work if your side's going reasonably well. Peters hasn't been in fantastic form, although he did play well last week. But it's a matter of each player has to lift about 10 or 20%, and I don't think they're capable of doing that. But you never know. If they happen to get back in with 4 or 5 quick goals, it's most unlikely. But that's what Australian rules football is all about. Goals can come quickly if they happen to get a run on. Most of all, some of their on-ball players have got to get the ball occasionally.
What about a few names? Dorrington, Townrow?
Yes, to name them, Dorrington, Shannon, Collins, Darby Munro in the back line, not an on-ball player, but he's having a fairly ordinary day. Alan Finlay's having a terrible day, and he was most influential last week. Danny Slater, it was good to see get back in play a little bit that quarter, but he contributed nothing. Wayne Walsh is contributing nothing.
Well, that's the way Dennis Higgins sees Eaglehawk's ordinary effort. United right on top at half-time, 12-10-82 to 3-5-23. We'll leave the picture there of the United dressing rooms. Bluey Southcombe, the coach, will take a break and come back with a few of the highlights of United's brilliant first half on Grand Final Day on TV8 Football.
Well, they're certainly absolutely dominating the centre line. Half-forward line, Gavin Exel and Geary have both been dominant players, but no less influence. Reece Langan on one wing has had a lot of possessions. Gary Mountjoy's probably had equal possessions, most possessions on the ground, and of course Gary Evans, and there it all is, because around that centre line on the QEO, you get the ball from there and you've got good players up front, and that's what's happening.
Well, it's Grand Final Day in Bendigo, and let's have a look at the way Northern United earned that half-time lead, 12-10 to 3-5, as we now go to the highlights of the first half on Grand Final Day. Exel has taken a beauty over the pack. He plays on and he's rammed it through.
Back to Jared Geary and have 6 or 7 up before half-time.
Jared Geary goes for the long shot for goal. How does it look, ladies and gentlemen? It doesn't look too bad at all. It's there.
Bad at this stage.
Tricky, Evans and Marlowe combined to drive down to Geary.
Great influence, and of course Jared Geary's having a big influence too. I think Robbie O'Connor might do well to go on to.
Southcome's going to fly from the back, and a good mark to Eaglehawk. No, not paid. Ball feeds to the ground. Oh, and here's that man again. Tricky, goal. Goodness gracious me. Blum was in their pack. He couldn't win it. Goes to Marlowe. He gets it across to Neeman. Neeman down the throat of Exel was beautiful football.
Here's Gavin Exel lining up for his 3rd goal at Northern United 7s. He's not far out. No mistake about that one. It's through the centre.
It finds Evans at half forward. Evans feeds it on now toward the Barnes. And Barnes goes bang. Oh, goodness gracious me, this is an avalanche.
In the air goes Finlay, a handball out of the pack by Eaglehawk, over to Wayne Walsh. Walsh has given it over to Murray Collins. Collins might have run 2 steps too far, but poked through off the ground, I think. Darryl Gilmore has got Eaglehawk's first goal.
There's danger, Marlowe for United, half forward flank. Hand passes backwards to Exel, and on the run, this fellow would nearly kick this on a good day. It's curving back. Oh, goodness gracious me, a ripper.
And it's Brett Sheldon, one of Northern United's key players. Towards centre half forward.